Okay, well, welcome everybody. My name's Wendy Fenton, and I'm the coordinator of the Humanitarian Practice Network here at ODI. And I'd like to also welcome the people who are watching online. We have apparently 100 people signed up to participate with us online today. And we also had nearly 70 people signed up in the room, so some of those may trickle in as we carry on. And today's event is focused on a new network paper that we have just published, written by Jock Baker, who's here on my left. And you have a copy on your seats, Humanitarian Capacity Building and Collaboration, Lessons Learned from the Emergency Capacity Building Project. And I think we know that with an ever-increasing number of disasters that are more severe and complex than before, the global humanitarian system's capacity to respond has been stretched to the limit. But NGOs are increasingly forced or feel they have to compete over limited resources rather than collaborating and sharing information and learning. And the Emergency Capacity Building Project, or the ECB, as I think most people call it, was initiated in 2003 to help address these challenges and to help build capacity at a local level through collaboration. So we want to find out, did it work? What were some of the challenges, surprises, and lessons learned from the project? And what are the implications for the future of humanitarian capacity building? So we're really happy to have you here today at this event where we're going to try to address these questions through an interesting mix of presentations, a participatory simulation exercise, and some reflections on the ECB experience from both the headquarters and we hope from the field level. One of our panelists is joining us by telephone from Bangladesh, as we weren't able to arrange video conferencing facilities on a Friday. And I understand that the connection is a bit dubious, so we're hoping that he'll still be able to join us. After we have our presentations and various exercises, which you're going to have to participate in again, we'll open the floor to you and to the online audience for questions and comments and have a discussion. But before we start, just a bit of housekeeping. If you hear a fire alarm, please exit through the door here, go to the right and out through the front door. Please do put your phones on silent, but feel free to tweet. And the hashtag is ECB Project. So I'd now like to introduce our panel so that we can get started. On my left is Jock Baker, who, as I said before, is the author of this new network paper. And Jock began working as an independent consultant in 1999, following a long career with various international NGOs and the UN agencies, mainly in field-based assignments in places in Africa, Asia, the Pacific, Central America, and Eastern Europe, just about everywhere. And he was CARE International's Program Quality and Accountability Coordinator between 2006 and 2012, which included the role of CARE's Accountability and Impact Measurement, AIM, advisor during both phases of the ECB project. And Jock is going to give us a brief overview of the purpose of the ECB project, what it is and how it came to fruition, and some of the common challenges the group were faced with and the phases and major findings of the project, which are reflected in the paper. After that, Graham Mackay, who's sitting here on my right, who is from Oxfam. He's the Deputy Humanitarian Director and has been since 2007. He has responsibility for finance, HR, and logistics functions in emergencies. And from a longer-term perspective, this obviously involves working on capacity building and organizational development initiatives. And other areas of special interest include the private sector and digital technology in emergencies. And from his perspective as a principal in the project, at the headquarters level, Graham is going to discuss some of the key challenges, as well as what approaches were found to be effective, and some of the key lessons learned from the collaboration from his perspective. And then we're hoping that Haroon or Rashid, who is responsible for leading the development of CARE Bangladesh's climate change portfolio, through providing strategic direction, development, and management of projects, and he also conducts research and advocacy, is going to join us from Bangladesh. And Natalie's just given me the sign that he's online, which we're really happy about. Haroon spent 4 years as the ECB consortium manager for Save the Children in Bangladesh. And I would imagine that was a very, very challenging task. And so Haroon is joining us today to share with us the challenges, his consortium, which focused, I believe, on providing support to building capacity for disaster preparedness in Bangladesh, with a particular focus on collaboration between government actors and civil society. He's going to talk about the challenges they faced, as well as lessons learned that could be applied to improve field-level responses to emergencies. And I'm hoping Haroon will also be able to say a few words on what, if any, lasting impact he thinks the ECB has had in Bangladesh. And finally, not last but not least, David Hockaday, who's on my far right, who is currently the transition manager at the START network. In addition to previous roles at Save the Children and Oxfam, David was a global field project manager for the Emergency Capacity Building Project, coordinating the 5-country consortia of the ECB, which was attempting to improve the speed, quality, and effectiveness of humanitarian aid. And David's going to give us a summary of how the 17 multi-agency simulation exercises the ECB project supported between March 2010 and June 2013 helped to improve organizational and individual preparedness capacity. And he's then going to take us through a real-time role play to give you a sense of how simulations can work at an individual, organizational, and systemic level. So David will end with a brief reflection on how the ECB experience has shaped other collaborations, including the START network, which he's working with now. So I'm not going to talk anymore. That was actually quite a lot for me during an event. And I'm going to hand over to Jock now.
Okay.
Please.